What is going on, guys? My name is Repel and we're bringing you the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. This battle was quite a long battle. It's 88 turns. I don't normally show long battles, but I'm gonna show it because it's a really good battle. And for your convenience, I fast forwarded for a little bit. Obviously, it's fast forwarded. If it's not fast forwarded, this video would probably be like, over half an hour, but luckily I did fast forward it for you guys. So I'm gonna lead off with the Galvantula because I want to set up sticky webs, and my opponent is gonna lead off with that Yanmega. Turns out he's gonna switch out. He doesn't want to get hit by any electric attacks, and I'm just gonna go straight for the sticky webs. Gives me a free switch next turn. He does go for the Mega Evolution. I don't have anything in my party that can pretty much defeat Mega Venusaur. Thanks to Thick Fat, Mega Venusaur is no longer really weak to fire and ice attacks, so, its only weaknesses is like flying and psychic, so unfortunately I don't have neither of that. No, my Gyarados does not have bounce. My Gyarados is really weird. It's a really weird Gyarados. I deliberately switched into Gyarados because I know for a fact that he's going to go for a Sleep Powder. Usually most Mega and Venusaurs do, so I do have the Sleep Talk. That's right. I have Rest and Sleep Talk on this Gyarados, and it's kind of good actually. I do go for a Scald, and unfortunately I don't get that burn, so that's whatever. That's right. My Gyarados has Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, and one fourth move that I will showcase later. It is a Mega Gyarados, sorry, but I have not Mega'd yet because obviously I don't want to get hit by a super effective Giga Drain, but. Out comes Drapion now, and I just decided to go for the Florges. So luckily my opponent does, not abuse the Sleep Claws, so my Drapion will stay awake and finish off this Magnezone. So there you have it, one easy kill right there. Now he's gonna switch into the Excadrill, and I'm not sure honestly if my Earthquake could kill. I mean, there's a reason why he chose to switch out the Excadrill, because he wanted to bring out the Yanmega so he can get that speed boost. Excellent play there. He does go for a Protect, really is necessary, but he's gonna go for another Protect, and I didn't really care. I just, used a Wish, so whatever. Obviously, I can go for a Wish and, heal up my Gyarados. He's gonna stay in, and he's gonna go for the Aromatherapy. That'll wake up the Gyarados. Aromatherapy is really useful, especially when you have a Pokemon that has Rest. So he knows that his Air Slashes is not gonna be doing too much, so he's gonna switch out. Really good to switch out. And I'm just gonna go for another Wish here, just to scout what this opponent wants to do. I'm gonna go into Red Lobster now. It's gonna drop his attack, so even if he goes for a Rock Slide, it's not gonna do too much, but I avoid it. But I am a defensive Gyarados, so it's still not gonna do too much. I love defensive Gyarados. I know Dragon Dancing Gyarados is really good too. So now comes the motherfucking Gastrodon, and I was kind of fearing that he might have the Earth Power. So I was like, okay, let's not Mega Evolve, and yes, my fourth move is Payback. It works really well with Mega Gyarados, obviously, because it has that Dark Stab, but I am not Mega just yet. But now that I realize, after using this Breast, turns out my opponent has Toxic, so he doesn't have Earth Power. His four moves are Recover, Ice Beam, Scald, and Toxic. He doesn't even have Earth Power, so I make a huge dirt play, honestly. I really should just Mega Evolve into Mega Gyarados, because Mega Gyarados has the Mold Breaker, and if you guys don't know, Mold Breaker, it just negates opponent's abilities. So I could actually land Scalds on that Gastrodon, but I didn't think that through, and I don't think that through in the entire battle, but anyways, Florges landing that Moonblast. It's gonna do just a little bit, but a little bit is better than nothing, so this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when neither side of the party has Stealth Rocks on the field. There's going to be a lot of switches, and basically, that's why it's quite a long battle. But honestly, I didn't care. I want to swing back my Gyarados to expect the Chandelure now, and I make a double switch, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And again, I could go for the Mega Evolution, and it'll negate this Storm Draining Gastrodon. But yeah, I went for the rest. I mean, not sorry, I didn't go for the rest. I just went for the sleep talk. And I do go for a payback. It's not gonna do anything, honestly. And I do get hit by Rocky Helmet. But at the same time, this Gastrodon can't really do too much to me either, especially if it doesn't have a +1 from Storm Drain. So yeah, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just kind of stay in with my Gyarados to kind of just stall out this Gastrodon. Obviously, the only thing that can really hurt this Gastrodon is my Breloom, but yeah, he does have that Toxic and that Ice Beam, and not to mention Scald, which Breloom does not want to get burned, so it's really risky to just switch into Breloom. And not to mention, my opponent can just easily switch out into like Venusaur anytime. So the Ice Beam does keep hitting me, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep staying in, even though, yes, I know Payback hardly does anything, and yes, I know he has Rocky Helmet, and yes, I know he has the Recover, but I'm just like, let's just stay in, try to, you know, waste as much PP, and have this Gastrodon waste just as much PP, so that, you know, it'll pretty much halt my opponent's moves. And now my opponent realizes that, like, he cannot be wasting too much of his PP on my Gyarados. Gyarados is not just a staller, he is a, you know, a PP waster. So he's actually gonna go back into the Gastrodon, you know, fishing for that Scald. But actually, I didn't do anything. I just stayed asleep. I didn't even use Sleep Talk. So unfortunately, he does not get that Sleep Talk, and I now just go for a Payback, and turns out it's actually not doing anything to the Yanmega too. So I'm thinking, holy crap, this Yanmega is probably somewhat defensive too. So kind of fucking scared here. You know, Yanmega obviously has Bug Buzz, so yeah, like, you know, Mega Gyarados has just way too many weaknesses, so I did not want to evolve into Mega just quite yet. I'm gonna go back to my Florges. It's my best bet, honestly. It, you know, pretty much walls Yanmega pretty darn well. Gonna grab some more speed boost, which is fine and all. And he has no choice. He knows he can't do shit to me, and he's gonna go back into this Excadrill. And honestly, I didn't really care. I knew the Excadrill was coming, or even the Venusaur, but I just want to do as much as possible, honestly. I don't have quite heavy hitters, so my Florges was my best bet. And my Florges actually is modest nature. I have two Florges. I have a walling Florges, a specially defensive wall Florges, and I have this Florges, which is, you know, more of an offensive side. So I do send out my Gyarados, and he does predict that, but like I mentioned, this is a defensive Gyarados, so it's not going to do too much. So I make a huge dirt play yet again. Oh, actually no, I don't. I knew for a fact that the Gastrodon is coming, so I'm making all these double switches. I'm like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm not playing any of your games. And I know for a fact that the Chandelure was going to come, because he already sent out the Chandelure once to counter my Breloom, and luckily my opponent did not go into Mega Venusaur. Well, what my opponent should have done was actually just send out the Venusaur, but yeah, because Venusaur would have, you know, countered my Breloom really well. My Breloom does not have Rock Tomb. Now I regret not having Rock Tomb on this Breloom. You know, I have Swords Dance instead of Rock Tomb, but yeah, that's all going to change. Had I went for the Rock Tomb, it would have been a much different game, but yeah. Turns out he's gonna use Hypnosis now. I'm like, damn. Holy shit, I did not expect that. No one runs Hypnosis, but yeah, it's kind of fucking scary. But honestly, I didn't really care. Hypnosis has such low accuracy. So, and I'm thinking, I think my Gyarados is actually asleep. So my opponent, like, just kind of broke. Actually, no, I'm not asleep, just kidding. I send out my Red Lobster now to expect the Hypnosis, but he gave up. But you know what, whatever, at least I got Wish back. I just want to land the damn Skull, but that fucking Gastrodon is so annoying, and I'm not sure if I want to Mega Evolve just yet, honestly. So, actually I went for the rest now, because I really thought that my opponent was going to attack me. But, you know, I guess that doesn't really matter. So, Gyarados just being a complete pain in the ass, just walling everything. So, even this, Yanmega can't really do too much. He is actually going to go back into the Gastrodon. Now, I can't do shit to this Gastrodon, and neither can this Gastrodon do shit to me, but at least my opponent does get that Storm Drain. So I'm like, alright, fuck this shit. Let's go back to Florges. Florges can take Scald just a little bit better, but turns out he's gonna do a double, and he's gonna go into Venusaur. That's actually really smart, since you know I'm not digging that Sludge Bomb. So I'm switching out back into Gyarados. Nothing in my team really wants to take Sludge Bomb except for Gyarados, sort of. But even though it's not gonna take it too well, I actually land the Scald this time, and you know Gastrodon's not coming in, and I do get that nice lucky burn. Now Venusaur obviously has access to Synthesis, but honestly, burn is just so helpful. I'm gonna go back into Sting now, and he's gonna go for Giga Drain. Now I'm not sure if he's gonna break Sleep Claws. I'm really not sure. You know, he could go for Sleep Powder, but I was just like, you know, let's just do as much as I can. But he's just gonna kill me with that Sludge Bomb, and because of that Life Orb damage I received, the Sludge Bomb will kill me. So it doesn't even matter. But then I'm thinking, hey, he's sitting at dangerously low HP, and he's just stepped on Sticky Web, so I do outspeed him. I went for a Stone Edge just in case the Yanmega does want to come out. So luckily my opponent, yeah, cannot outspeed this Donphan, and out comes the Gastrodon. So I go back into Florges now. Yes, this Gastrodon does have Toxic, but you know I do have Aromatherapy. Technically, my opponent could stall out all my Aromatherapy, but you know what? Whatever. So that's exactly what he does, but I do avoid it. That was pretty sweet. And I'm just gonna do a switch, pass my wish, back into Red Lobster, hoping that he might go for a Toxic, but instead he goes for the Ice Beam, and it's not gonna kill me, so that's really great. Yes, I do go for another rest because, well, I'm kind of scared that he might land a critical or a freeze or, you know, whatever. But he's just gonna go for recover. Whatever, honestly. So I do another switch because obviously Gyarados can't do anything. I'm gonna go back into Florges now. My Florges can actually do some damage with that Moonblast according to damage calculator, so I'm like, alright, why not? Let's just go for Moonblast, and maybe I can drop his special attack too. And I go for the Moonblast, and it actually does drop his special attack. Finally, he does go for a Toxic, and I could go for Aromatherapy now, because, well, my Gyarados is asleep, and, well, my Florges is poisoned too, so I'm gonna go for Aromatherapy, but, like, you know, like I mentioned, I only have, like, you know, like 5 Aromatherapy, so at this point I probably only have, like, 2 or 3. He's gonna go for a Recover, you know, that totally makes sense, because he does not want to get 3-hit KO'd. And here I switch out into Galvantula, and why did I switch in Galvantula? Because I thought I had Energy Ball, but I realized that my Galvantula doesn't have Energy Ball anymore, so I made a huge dirt play. But you know, I thought like maybe I could actually just bluff him, because you know, thinking that he might think that I have Energy Ball, but instead he did stay in. If I had Energy Ball, I'm pretty sure it is a one-hit KO. So at this point I realize, okay, nothing in my team can do anything except for Breloom, and I don't want to send out Breloom because he'll just switch out really easily. So I'm going to keep using Payback on Gyarados and just keep stalling him. I'm going to keep using Payback and Rest, Payback and Rest. If my PP goes back to 0, I don't really care anymore. This Gastrodon is just way too, you know, a big pain in the ass, so I'm just going to stay in and just keep using Payback and Rest. And that's exactly what I do. So, you know, Gyarados will not die. He just simply won't die, and neither will this Gastrodon. I really should just Mega Evolve and Scald. I really don't know why I didn't do that. Just completely forgot about Mold Breaking Mega Gyarados, I suppose. So now I'm thinking, you know what? Let's go to Breloom, okay? But my opponent switches out as well, and he's gonna go into the Yanmega. I'm like, okay, this is a terrible switch. I'm gonna go back into Florges now, and he does go for the Hypnosis. Which does, you know, break Sleep Claws because Gyarados is asleep. But at this point, I guess my opponent has just gotten quite desperate. But it doesn't matter. I do land that crit, and yes, the critical did matter. But hey, that's what you get for breaking Sleep Claws. Even Rest counts, right? So out comes the Excadrill now, and obviously I don't get Iron Headed. I also know that he might go for the Rock Slide or whatnot, but he does go for the Earthquake. Pretty smart. But I didn't care. I can live another Earthquake, and nothing in his team wants to take an Earthquake now. because, well, the Yanmega is gone. So I'm free to go for my most powerful Stab Earthquake. It's going to be an easy, not actually, sorry, almost 2-hit KO, but not quite, so. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 3-hit KO, so I kind of had to switch out. And he does, I'm going to go for Protect now, because I want to stall this Gastrodon. At this point, this Gastrodon has very few moves left, so I'm going to go for the Moonblast. He's going to go for the Ice Beam. You know, Scald or Ice Beam will not matter. I kind of wish that he would go for the Scald instead. I'd rather just get burned and then I would just stay burned so that he doesn't go for a Toxic. He's gonna keep using, you know, Recover, and it is gonna do a little stalling here. So I'm like, alright, fuck this shit. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for another Recover here. So I'm just gonna have a free switch. So finally I do have a free switch in Breloom. And he doesn't have his Venusaur anymore, so, which is great. The only thing that can really stop my Breloom is this, well, what you can call it, this Chandelure. And even Chandelure doesn't take Bullet Seed that well. With only 2 hits, it still did, you know, like 25%, so I'm like, okay. But I didn't want to play any games. I'm not a gambler, so hoping that he'd, you know, still stay asleep. So that's great. And he does withdraw. He does absolutely withdraw, and I just went for the Moonblast, I believe. Nothing in this team really wants to take that Moonblast anyways, so why the hell? I'm going to go with my second Moonblast. Hope that I can get a crit, but of course I don't. You can't rely your, you know, victories in pure luck anyways, so I'm going to keep using Moonblast. And he still uses Recover, so I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure he's going to keep using Recover, but let's just keep making sure, because I really don't want to send in my Breloom to take an Ice Beam. Honestly, that's like terrible. I'm pretty sure one Ice Beam can easily take out my Breloom. Now I'm going to go for one Therapy now, well, because Toxic is just no good. I don't want to waste any turns, but you know, it doesn't matter because I have like 2 things I was poisoned and Red Lobster was also asleep, so. Now I'm pretty sure he's going to, well, I'm just going to keep using Moonblast. But of course, I don't get anything. He does go for another Toxic, and I'm sitting at, you know, I don't have too many aromatherapies here, but I'm pretty sure my opponent's gonna go for the Recover now. So I send out my Breloom, and he does go for Recover. I have a free switch and a free attack. I know for a fact Chandelure is coming, and know for a fact, but after Sticky Webs, I'm pretty sure I can outspeed Chandelure. And if I can just land 2 sets of Bullet Seed attacks, it'll kill. But actually, 1 set is enough because I get that 5 hit. That's really sweet. And I finish off that Chandelure. Chandelure getting killed by Bullet Seed. So here comes the Excadrill. I didn't know what to do. I could just go for an attack, but I was just like, alright, fuck this. Let's just go for a Spore. You know what? I'll go for a Spore first, because his Chandelure obviously was asleep, but now it's dead, so. I do follow Sleep Clause, you know, I don't like having to spam, you know, sleep on my entire opponent's team. I do go for the Mach Punch on that Excadrill, but he actually plays that really nicely, because he does have that Rocky Helmet. But, here I just went for the obvious Bullet Seed. Even 2 Bullet Seeds and Life Orb damage will not finish off Breloom, so naturally this Bullet Seed will actually finish off this Excadrill with a mere 2 hits. And see, I still cling on to 5 HP after that, and my opponent sends out his very last Pokemon, his Gastrodon, but turns out the time has run out, but it doesn't quite matter. It was still 5-1, so I'll still gladly accept that victory. So thank you, opponent Rancid, for, you know, bringing such an amazing team and being so awesome and patient. So thank you, viewers, for staying and watching a very fast and quick fast-forwarded battle, but nonetheless was an amazing battle. So please leave that awesome like, and make sure to comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.